Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria Restart video. So in today's video, guys, we just had this Hypertalk episode 4 come out, which they need to do a better job at promoting these. They just like randomly drop. I guess that's kind of cool. You don't know when one's going to drop, I guess. But uh, yeah, anyway, they walk through some things here, which I wanted to touch on because a lot of them are good. The first one is that, you know, the quote unquote real global launch, right? Whenever things launch in China, Japan, and Korea. We're getting, like a sign in event where you're getting the SSR ticket for the LD, and you're also getting a lattice at day 7. So that's all really good. There's some other things here that they end up talking about. Like Link again is, I think, whenever players come back to the game, but these rewards are really, really nice. And I kind of wanted to touch on this LD selector because I think a lot of people are most likely going to pick Lily. When it comes to the LD SSR selectors, it's going to depend on where your account is. Like right now, on my free to play, if I were to have the option at that LD selector, I need to take a look at where I'm at on my account and where I'm stuck. Okay. So I'm on all health fours for thresholds. I can clear Nico Nana consistently. And then the other 3 shell dungeons, I'm stuck. So I'm doing a specific, kind of challenge on this free to play. However, if I had the luck that I had and I don't get any relevant SSRs and I just pulled a bunch of copies of Ling Luo, right? And those were the only 2 SSRs I had was Ling Luo and Leon. I think one of the better picks for this account would be something like a Shadow Sonya because she allows you to get up into those next stages that you really aren't prepared for from a gear standpoint. All you need is her with her skill 1 latticed along with like a turn meter pushback stun character like Red Kachi that gives her bonus turns, along with Obol uh, and Fangus, and you're clearing Shadowflame Hoyon, and then you have a Revelation shell that has those Inferno pieces on it, right? She also can farm Inferno Terramaton. So those are the things that you need to think about. Doki as well. Doki Doki makes Sharon a lot easier. Mio and Messiah are fantastic PvP characters. Lily is just an all around great character. Lilium, we know, is a crazy good character when it comes to damage output. And then Heinrich is a great PvP character as well with some endgame PvE stuff. But the thing is you need to remember that heroes like Lilium and Messiah, they end up being better based on your gear. So they'll scale better the more mature your account is. Whereas someone like a Shadow Sonya, a Lily, and a Doki, these are, characters that are really good for accounts that are trying to progress or trying to get over that hump where they might be able to cheese some things here and there. So it is very account dependent. I will say though that the 3 safest picks are the Lily, the Shadow Sonya, and the Doki. And I know the Shadow Sonya is somewhat of a bait because she will 100% fall off. It's just the thing that she saves you a ton of grinding and probably a little bit of frustration. So you do have to take those things into account. The easiest thing to tell you, though, is whatever LD character that you don't have, that's probably should be your choice. If you have all of them, the clear favorites, I think, are picking additional copies of Lilium, additional copies of Messiah or Heinrich for the damage, the additional damage. So this is a huge deal. I really think this is an amazing thing that they're doing. I know this game gets a lot of flack, but I truly believe that they're one of the better companies in the space. So I've been really, really pleased. I think we can all agree that most gotcha developers in the end up going down a dark, bad path. So you just have to ride the wave, as it goes. And that's what I'm trying to do with this game. But they're also having a code where you get 10 pulls, which is really nice. And then they talk about returning players. Now, I've seen some people get upset about this, and I don't know why. I think it's just envy or jealousy because new players will get rewarded to come back. But we need new people or returning people to come back to the game. The game needs more revenue, right? More revenue equals more things that they end up developing. Uh, More revenue means that the game gets to stick around longer and we get to enjoy it more. So this is a good thing. I don't understand why people would just be like, "Oh, way to reward the players that have been with you from the beginning." They have. They have been rewarding us. They've been listening to us. They've been giving us more opportunities at lattices. They've been giving us more opportunities even at lattice shards. Like the latest Dreamscape, we could end up getting 2 guaranteed lattices. Now, it still remains to be seen if you'll have to sync additional keys, but they've already made the keys cheaper. And I think a lot of us need to remember that these gems are resources. You're not really using them for anything other than resetting. If you're using them on pulls and then you don't want to spend it on events like this where you can exchange for lattice shards or a guaranteed lattice, like you're doing it wrong. It's not something that needs to just be like, oh, here after 5 days, you don't even have to do the event and here's your lattice. It's just like you need to participate, right? Also, on the RTA stuff, they're also doing an RTA pass, which I thought I was just like, oh man, okay, more monetization and things like that. However, they do. Oh, talk about. Hold on, quick segue. This is another thing that they're doing where a targeted summon, after 80 summons, you'll get one of these 5 characters. And all 5 of these characters are really great. A lot of people have complained about Kloss, right? Because they don't have the ability to get her. They gave her in the last cipher box for the Wishbinder. And now, if you're a returning player, I also don't know how long you have to be gone. I don't know if it's a month or 2 weeks or whatever. Uh, but this is guaranteed, right? The Veronica is purely PvP. Tsukiyomi is really great for both PvE and PvP. Same thing with Holden. And then Fusho, same thing. So, like, all of these characters are really strong, other than the Veronica, which is purely PvP, but she's very good there. So, just more good stuff. Yes, incentivize people to come back. The people that are already familiar with the game, they might be further along and they were missing that one SSR character. And now they're going to be able to get that character and progress. So they do introduce 2 new characters. We don't know if they're SSRs or if they're just SRs. We don't know if they're LDs or not. I'm sure more will come out here like in the near future. Um, they did talk about a new skin. Now, I know a lot of us think that it's just a recolor, but this is the Yelly skin. I actually think this is very good. This is very good. I will give you the caveat, though, that I've never been one of those people that was just like, oh, they use AI art. I could care less. I want the game mechanics to be good. Like, that's what I care about. Sure, if the art is like 2D pixels, I might not be into the game. But if AI created this or whatever, and they asked AI to do it and they didn't steal anyone else's things, I don't care. Like, that's what I don't get. But they did say right here that they're making changes to like the settings and the skins of RTA, which is really cool because once you get your like 2,000 points for the week, there's no incentivization to play RTA. So now they'll have a pass. They're changing the skins that you can get here. You can also get like uh, exclusive skins depending on how high you place. This is all great. Like, there's no downside to this. Even if something like this costs money, you're not forced to get it, right? It's just one of those things that spenders in the high RTA might end up going after and increasing their revenue. You need to find things for people to spend money on. I don't think that you should have done the $50 skin like they put out, but if it can be like $10 or whatever, sure. Okay, so this is the RTA pass. So it looks like it's the full length of the season, so 60 days. I still think that's a little too long. Like, I think it should be like a 40-day thing. But with how the current meta kind of morphed, it was really, really terrible with meta bruisers. And then all of a sudden, people started catching on and using different things to like cleave, and CC was more prevalent. We got Plume, which is another really good dispeller. So yeah, they're releasing things here where you get currency for the current Summon Arena shop, and you see that they have other currency for the Stellar shop. They also have these boxes here. The Stellar shop, I think, is the skins and things like that, avatars. That's awesome. Cosmetics are great because it doesn't do anything to anyone's account. And even if it did have rewards in here, that were like account boosting things, the way that they've positioned RTA, where even if you lose, you get 50 points, is reasonable. They want people to play this game mode because that's what their whole thing is. So I've really liked that Hypertalk. There's been ones in the past that I haven't been a fan of, but yeah, I was just really, really impressed with that one. So I've been really happy and pleased with the direction that the game's going. I think they're going in the right place. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that the launch in China and South Korea and Japan goes really well and it really increases their revenue. I don't think they need to be like a crazy high revenue company, someone like Hoyoverse or anything. I think if they could consistently make anywhere from like $5 to $7 million a month, which is already insane to me, uh, that would be a really fun game to be a part of. You know, where you get some minor things, you're paying a couple dollars here and there for a hyperlink pass or whatever, or your monthly gems, and you're able to progress and you're able to have fun and compete every once in a while. And you get some new PVE content here and there, like the new Shell Dungeon is awesome. If they ever introduce like new modules, that would be cool. Yeah, I really like where the game is at right now, guys. They've been more consistent on the 2x with the 4 drops, so double energy and things like that. Like, these are huge things. You gotta commend the company whenever they're doing the right things. So, bravo. I'm really looking forward to this, quote unquote real global launch next week. Still interested to see what they're gonna do with like meta changes after the RTA season. So a lot of things to come still, and the 2 new heroes. So who knows? Anyway, guys, just a random Friday video for you. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.